Don't ask me how I missed that by 3 points. Fuck! Now before the patch goes live, I wanted to take this opportunity and make some suggestion for you guys when it comes to the Blessing Stone Selector and the Rune Stone Selector as well. I think a lot of people might want to know what I'm suggesting when it comes to these kind of things. So first and foremost, for the Blessing Stones, I still believe that your #1 priority should be Reawakening. Reawakening is way too good. It's an all-purpose Blessing Stone. You never can go wrong with it. And then we have other options. We have Pulverize, which is also a no-brainer, and as well as Bloodlust, also very good overall. You cannot go wrong with it. It does a lot of things for you. Now where a couple of things might change is where you want to go next, like right after. I feel like the top 4, and that's also sums up what I have currently equipped, is weakness detection as well. And after weakness detection, your biggest priority should be Intuit. Intuit is pretty good because there's also, I think you want to consider these two new ones, the Intuit and Desire one, because these two are actually, especially the Intuit one, very important for Battlefield of Time. If you are into that specifically, then you want to make sure you have Intuit because it is very good, provides you extra damage, stuff like that, 2% cooldown reduction. It does change a lot of things when it comes to Battlefield of Time at least, and also a 2-second. It's basically what Intuit does. It's the same thing as Double-Edged Sword, but with the difference that you basically get a 2-second cooldown reduction as well, and is a little bit better in Battlefield of Time. Now overall, what should be your strategy? It really depends on what you have, right? But I would say Reawakening, Bloodlust, Pulverize, Weakness Detection, and as well as Intuit should be at the top of the list, and then you can go for Desire. But overall, if you have, let's say you have a couple of these, or most of these Blessing Stones maybe already purple, or you already have a lot of golds and you're just missing like 2 or 3 certain Blessing Stones, let's say you're missing like Intuit and Double-Edged Sword or whatever else, maybe you're even missing Bloodlust and Intuit or Desire, whatever it might be, like what kind of combination it is. It's also a smart decision to not pick a Blessing Stone right off the bat, and you just hold off your Selector till you craft one of these missing Blessing Stones. So let's say you're missing Bloodstone, Bloodlust and Desire, for example, right? Instead of picking one of these with your Selector, you know what? You wait and craft and see if you can get, for example, Desire or Bloodlust. And if you get one or the other, then you use your Selector to get the other one. So you can basically maximize your Selector chest, and this should be your go-to choice. And by the way, before I forget this, guys, if you're new to this channel, subscribe. I basically upload every other day, and we're close on hitting 3,000 subscribers on the channel. So please guys, I would appreciate it a lot if we can hit this goal in the next couple of days. Would mean a lot to me. So in case you didn't subscribe, feel free to subscribe now. Now let's continue this. Next topic are the skill runes. Now this is a little bit trickier overall, what kind of picks you want to do, but they also announced with the patch that they do want to make so that with the next patch, so after, tomorrow we're getting Kane, or today, depending on when you watch this video, we're getting the Kane patch with the Wobble. But the patch after March, they said there will be a balance patch for blessings and for skill runes. They want to make it easier, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. The obvious choice, if you don't have it yet, go pick Magnifying Slashes. Is one very powerful one, obviously, right? And then afterwards, it's like, it really depends on what you're trying to do. Like, you could theoretically hold off. You don't need to save for like new skills or something, because you will not be able to use it for new skills. But for the existing one, now from the skill perspective, it does make sense to not necessarily save at the moment, because you do not really benefit from it, because there's like a lower chance for you to get the skill you desire, right? But let's say you already have a gold Magnifying Slashes. What other options are there for you? Now, there are a couple of options. Now, one of the biggest options is Crosshairs. Crosshairs is very good because also for Power of Destruction and for Battlefield of Time. And mostly these skills I now recommend are mostly for certain scenarios. Then you also have the Dispersion one, but I would on a priority list rank it a little bit lower, then obviously you have Vacuum Wave, which in my opinion currently is only use is right now the guild boss. I would right now actually hold off maybe to it because we're getting new guild boss tomorrow. Let's see what the meta will be, but overall still would be a good choice because you could still debuff the boss and maybe you can still auto your Rage 8. Now what kind of recommendation I can give outside of that is something for Battlefield of Time. There are two skills actually. Now Liberation is a big choice. If you watched my Battlefield of Time guides, which I break down like the fastest times possibles and stuff like that with Jinwoo, Liberation is actually, if we look at the preview, currently for Jinwoo the most dominating, probably one of the most dominating Battlefield of Time skill because it is an AoE and you can cast it twice and it doesn't consume that much MP. So it is a pretty good choice as well. What is also a good choice, next to Magnifying Slashes, it is actually Double Down. It is his strongest light skill. It helps out as well, but you can also theoretically not necessarily get it if you have a Wukong staff. So if you have Wukong staff, not necessarily you need it, but if you do not have the Wukong staff, then you want to make sure you have the Double Down, or you can actually combine those two together, but it's usually not that case. And then another big one is actually Effulgence, which is also not as much used as Liberation when it comes to Battlefield of Time, but still it sees a lot of play overall with this specific one because it does boost your crit damage by 40%, which helps a lot for certain one-shot combos. So you might want to consider getting Effulgence as well. But the other ones, it really doesn't matter too much. I really like Electric Shock overall. It's such an amazing skill, but I feel like it doesn't have that kind of priority in my opinion. As well, Detonation really like this as well, but also not as high as a priority. And then what else is there really? Nothing too crazy. Maybe if we look at the QTEs and if we look at the, at the QTEs, no, the Overshadow might be an option you want to pick if you don't have it, or Surprise Attack. Now these two are actually very good for Battlefield of Time. Now I don't talk about anything else, like for example this one, Extinction, is actually good for guild boss because it does decrease the attack value, but I don't think that many people have that issue. It's more for utility, so you don't need this one going, so whatever you have should be good enough for the use. But Overshadow and Surprise Attack might be good options as well. If you have like a lot of these other picks here, you might want to pick one of these for the Selector. And yeah, that is my overall suggestion when it comes to the Blessing Selector and the Rune Selector. Dude, I can't see the screen anymore. So guys, this is all for the patch, so you know what you can pick or should not pick. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces.